Hello friends, today we will see Standard 7th, Chapter 12, the muscular system and digestive system in human beings. So in this chapter we are going to discuss on two systems, muscular system and digestive system. First we will see about muscular system. In the word itself you can see the muscle. Muscular system consists of muscles. What are muscles? Muscles are bundles of fibers that can contract and relax as required. That means these fibers can contract also and they can relax also. You can see here a hand. Look in this. Contraction and relaxation both is shown so that you will understand. Here, in the upper arm, the hand is straight. That means the muscles here are relaxed. While in this there is movement of this part. This part has moved. Because of these movement, you can see the changes which are seen here. There is contraction of muscle. So this is relaxation and contraction. Relaxation and this is the contraction of muscle. So now did you understand? Muscles are bundles of fibers that can contract and relax. These muscles are attached to the bones. You can see here there are bones and here is muscle. So muscle and bones, they both are attached with the help of tendons. Tendons are the means by which muscles and bones gets attached. Okay. So when the hand movement comes nearer, there is contraction, while when the hand movement goes away from each other, there is relaxation of the muscles. You can see the contraction and relaxation of muscles in various activities that we do daily, like while talking, laughing, jumping, walking, throwing. In all these activities we use muscles. There is the use. Now see this part. Do you know this part is reduced for your syllabus for 2021 and 22? Further we will see the two types of muscles. First is voluntary muscles while the other is involuntary muscles. Voluntary muscles depend upon our will. They depend on our will, means we can control these muscles like walking, sitting, standing, running, jumping. These all activities depends on ourselves, depends on our will. So the muscles which are involved in this are known as voluntary muscles, whereas the muscles which are not under our control and which do not depend on our will are called as involuntary muscles. Like breathing, you can't control breathing. You have to breathe. The blood circulation, digestion, these all processes goes on continuously in your body. The beating of your heart, you can't stop it. That means it is not under your control. So it is known as involuntary muscles. The other three types of muscles are skeletal muscles, heart or cardiac muscles, smooth muscles. See, this is the skeletal muscle. You can see here, this is the skeletal muscle. Skeletal muscles are the muscles which are attached to two different bones. That means a muscle attaches two sides of bones. That is called skeletal muscles. These muscles are voluntary in action. They are responsible for holding the bones of skeleton and they give shape to our body. So skeletal muscles are very important. Next is heart or cardiac muscle. Cardiac means heart. So you can say it heart muscle. You can also call it as cardiac muscle. So the heart muscles contract and relax. They continuously beat. Have you ever heard your heartbeats? you will observe that your heartbeats continuously beats. This is an involuntary action. You cannot stop it by yourself. It does not depend on your will. So these muscles are heart muscles which are present at your heart. Now your heart beats 70 times per minute. You can measure it by setting a timer. You can measure that within 1 minute how many times your heart beats. The last muscle is the smooth muscle. This is the smooth muscle. Okay? Smooth muscles are present in the internal organs. Internal organs means the organs in your body which cannot be seen by outside. They are present inside your body. So, the internal organs contains smooth muscles like the muscles of stomach, intestine, blood vessels, uterus. Okay, so the muscles which are present in these, they are known as smooth muscles. You can see the muscles in our body in this diagram. Muscles in different parts of body are shown here. This is the chest muscle which is here. These are biceps. This is flexors. You can see here deltoid. The shoulder, muscles on the shoulder are known as deltoid. And the muscles which are present in abdomen are known as abdominal muscles. The muscles at thighs are known as quadriceps, while the muscles which are present at the lower part of leg are known as flexors. So these are the muscles which are present in our body. And these muscles must be strong and efficient. Our muscles all should be very strong and very efficient. So we should eat foods which will help our muscles to grow. That means proteins and carbohydrates to repair and growth, for repairing and growth of our muscles. We should always exercise daily so that our muscles will remain strong. Whenever you sit, you should sit with your back straight. You should not bend and sit. You should sit straight. And if your muscles are not in proper condition, then you will have various disorders. So you should always sit straight, otherwise it will affect your vertebral column. During exercise, you must have noticed that your heart rate becomes faster. It means that there is sufficient supply of oxygen in your body. After the muscular system, we will discuss about digestive system. What is digestion? या फिर डाइजेस्ट करना क्या होता है? डाइजेस्ट मीन्स हजम करना. ओके, हजम मीन्स टू एब्जॉर्ब द थिंग्स विच यू आर ईटिंग, to getting all the constituents and nutrition from the food that you eat. That is called digestion, and the systems which are involved in this are known as digestive system. So digestive system consists of, so muscles of our body always work in groups. They always work in groups. When some of the muscles gets contracted, at the same time other parts of muscles get relaxed. So this is how they function in a body. They function in groups. Earlier we have seen biceps and triceps. Whenever your upper arm and lower arm is, this is your upper arm and this is your lower arm. The upper arm is known as biceps while the lower arm is known as triceps. So this is biceps and these are triceps. Okay. Alimentary canal and digestive glands. So digestive system consists of alimentary canal and digestive glands. Alimentary canal is about 9 meters. Alimentary canal is of 9 meters and it contains mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum and anus. Okay. So these all are present in alimentary canal right from mouth up to the anus. We will see these in details further. For now, you just know that alimentary canal has these all systems. Okay, now let's say about digestive system. The salivary glands, the liver and pancreas. These are the digestive glands which are connected to the alimentary canal. So digestive system helps in digestion. So its function is digestion. And during this process of digestion, at each stage there is different organ which performs a specific function. So every organ during digestion performs a specific function which we will see in detail in further. For now, we will see about teeth. Whenever you eat food, you put the food in your mouth, you chew it with your teeth. That means teeth are also very important in the process of digestion. These are of 4 types. You can see here the incisors which are present in the front of your teeth. After that, besides of your teeth, you have canine which has a sharp end, a little pointed end. Then you can see premolars. Premolars are present here, whereas molars which are present at the back, exact back of your teeth. So these are 4 types of teeth. If you talk only about one tooth, then you should say it as tooth. Now these tooths are covered with enamel. Look here, enamel. Enamel is made up of calcium salt. It protects our teeth. The next thing is about saliva. Saliva means what? Saliva is secreted in our mouth. Saliva means thuk. Okay? That is present in our mouth. This saliva contains an enzyme. What are enzymes? These enzymes either increase or decrease the processes in our body. Whichever processes are going on, these enzymes either increase them or decrease them. So enzyme which is present in saliva is called as ptyalin. P is silent. You should call it as ptyalin or salivary amylase. So what is the function of this saliva? It converts the starch into sugar. So these are helpful to convert starch into sugar. The sugar which is formed is called maltose. Maltose is a sugar which is formed after the action of ptyalin. So ptyalin converts the starch into sugar. See, this is a diagram of digestive system. It has started from mouth, then pharynx, then esophagus, then stomach. This is the small intestine, and this part is the large intestine. This is the rectum, while this is the anus. Okay? So alimentary canal consists of all these parts. First we will start from mouth. Okay? First is mouth. So our digestion begins in the mouth itself. Whenever you chew the food is partly digested in the mouth. You chew it with teeth, and after some time your food gets softened. So this is called digestion. So the food gets digested in the mouth itself. In the mouth there are salivary glands, right? These saliva secretes saliva. That means these salivary glands make saliva. These saliva soften the food. Okay? These saliva soften the food while chewing, and it makes softer and easier to swallow it. So these are the this is the saliva which is secreted by salivary glands. Then you can see pharynx or throat. Pharynx or throat, it from this there is bifurcation. Bifurcation means there is division of food pipe and windpipe. Through esophagus only food is transported, but through the windpipe air is transported. So pharynx is the part from where the esophagus and the trachea, this is our trachea which is the air pipe, it opens in the pharynx. Then comes the esophagus. Okay, esophagus is the food pipe. It carries the food towards the stomach. So whenever you eat the food, it is carried through esophagus to the stomach. The next part that we will see is liver. Liver, you can see here, this is the liver. It is the largest gland in our body. So liver is the largest gland in our body. Always remember, the largest gland is liver. Its function is to storage of glucose. It stores glucose. Okay. Besides it, there is a gallbladder. See here a gallbladder. It is situated below the liver and it stores bile. This is a digestive juice. एक digestive juice है which helps in digestion. It also contains bile salts. So liver also helps in digestion process. So this is the part of digestive system. Next comes the stomach. After liver, we will see about stomach. You can see this part. Look here. This is the stomach part. Okay. This part is stomach. So stomach is sac-like part. It looks like a sac and it contains gastric glands, gastric juices. Those gastric juices are hydrochloric acid, pepsin and mucus. These three gastric juices are present in the stomach. In the stomach, mostly proteins are digested. Okay, these proteins are digested because of the gastric juices. The stomach churns the food. Churns means it mixes the food and makes it a semi-solid slurry. Semi-solid means partly solid, partly liquid. Okay, and it pushes the food further in the small intestine. See here, this part is known as small intestine. Okay, small intestine is 6 meters long. You can see it is 6 meters long, but it is coiled too much so that it takes less space. Okay, this is the place of final absorption of food. Here, all the food is been absorbed and then sent to the blood. Okay, so in the small intestine, absorption of food takes place and then it is sent to the blood. And the undigested food which is not absorbed remains in the large intestine. Okay, so the undigested food goes to the large intestine. In large intestine, only and only water is absorbed. Only water is absorbed. This large intestine is about 1.5 meter long. Okay, and to this appendix is attached. Appendix is a small part. See, this is appendix. Okay, this is a small part in the large intestine which is called as appendix. And in this large intestine, absorption of water takes place and undigested food remains here. In this, further, the undigested food goes through rectum towards anus, and then it is eliminated from our body, means removed from our body. So here the digestion process stops. So the digestion process started from mouth up to large intestine, rectum and anus. So until now, whatever we have learnt is present in this chart. Here organ is shown, like mouth is one organ, and the gland which is present in the mouth is salivary gland. It secretes saliva which contains enzyme ptyalin, and its function conversion of starch into maltose. So until now whatever we have studied is present here in this chart, which is shown very properly. Stomach contains gastric walls, livers and pancreas. In gastric wall there is gastric juices. These are three gastric juices. While liver contains bile. Our pancreas contain pancreatic juices, that is trypsin, lipase and amylase. And their functions are given in front of them. So you read this, you will understand it because we have studied it earlier. I have told you everything. So you will understand it. Okay. Next we will come down at the bottom. So our chapter is about to finish. You can see these signs. What do these signs tell us about? These signs tell us that we should not smoke, we should not chew tobacco, we should not drink alcohol, because these affect our system. These affect our digestive system. It can cause vomiting, nausea. Nausea means you feel like vomiting. That is the feeling of vomiting, nausea, headache. So smoking, drinking alcohol, chewing tobacco, these all can lead to cancer also. See this shows mouth cancer. Okay, your tongue, your teeth, your gums, everything gets affected. You will not be able to eat anything. That's why it is said that you should not be addicted to tobacco, alcohol or smoking, because it affects your digestive system right from your mouth up to your intestines. All the parts are affected. So my dear students, please, you should take care of it, that you don't get addiction of such things. Okay.